Chapter 10. The delivery of light in a gravitation field is verified by cosmic processes very different from what Einstein's thought expresses and is not necessary for relativity. The convex shape of space deduced from the behavior of light path, due in large part, according to Einstein, to the geometric modification of space caused by the sun, entails great incompatibility with the foundations of relativistic theory, because the energetic nature of light is thus not as passively heavy as a stone, but rather the expression of an active field. It represents within the vertigo of its speed a rectilinear vector through the geometric continuity of space, constantly repelled by the neighborhood of the stars that are closest to it, by the centrifugal action of the hyperbolic space, generated by the incompatibility of the stellar and luminous times. The light describes curves around the sun's convex curves, but not as curves of space, but as a remainder of velocities, translations, and repulsion. The first of these vectors is, as is known, marks the supreme limit of physical speeds. The second, naturally, must be very small, taking into account that the lighting time is also very small. It is clear then that the centrifugal thrust of the hyperbolic space generated must be very weak, because the engine light is at maximum speed. It does not fall, however. The center of gravity between both is contained in the material mass of the former, sun and light energy. Due to this circumstance, we repeat, light does not fall on the sun in the way that occurs with respect to the earth, which with stones of other heavy bodies whose masses are not sufficient to form dynamic systems with it. The light path is, therefore, a curve whose convexity always faces towards our privileged star, and not its concavity, as Einstein would like. The light path is, with all this, and as much as has been demonstrated in the previous chapters, excluded from what is necessary for relativity. Now, we have said that when a ray of light penetrates a gravitational field, it must undergo a deflection analogous to that suffered by the trajectory of a body thrown in said field. According to the theory, when a ray of light passes through a gravitational field produced by a celestial body, it must curve away from it, and for a ray that passes at a distance from the sun equal to delta solar radius, the angle proportion of deviation will be 1.7 divided by delta seconds. It should be noted that this deviation is due to the theory, according to the theory, half to the sun's Newtonian field of attraction and half to the geometric modification, the curvatures that the sun produces in the space. This result admits of experimental verification through photographic observation of stars during a total eclipse of the sun, and only in this way is it possible, since at any other time the atmosphere crossed by sunlight is illuminated so intensely that it makes the stars invisible close to the sun. The phenomenon is easily explained with figure 4. If the sun, S, did not exist, a fixed star located practically at an infinite distance would be seen in the direction R, but as a result of the deviation produced by the sun, it is seen in the direction R, that is, at an apparent distance from the center of the sun, somewhat greater than what actually corresponds in reality. We, on the contrary, think oppositely. with ideas and more consistent thoughts, of course, regarding the invariable laws of natural mechanics that govern the infinite sky of the cosmic gravitation of bodies, sunk in the complementary space of the physical materiality that integrates them. It was in the form of stars as simple planets, or in that of luminous stars projected on the great plane of the limitation of the limitless, where the great mystery seems to extend before our own eyes. Or, this is what interests us most for now, in the form of light as the most active celestial body through space in the depths of heaven. Here then is the true dynamic of light. Cosmically active body against our solar power. When the light from the real star reaches zero, and assuming that the sun was not in S, but in another celestial latitude 6 months before, or if you want 6 months after this event, its image can be collected in E on a photographic plate AB. However, if staying in the same place, we impress it again with the same star at the moment S of the sun, or in a fairly opportune proximity OS. Said image will be projected on E, radially a little further from the solar center. From this, Einstein deduces, as we have just seen in his previous explanation, that light, when passing conveniently in some vicinity of our sun, bends away from it. This is, if not absurd of all absurdity, at least very capricious. In effect, from this graph conceived ad hoc by us, and given explanation and intelligence of the first paragraph of this chapter, we have that the light path is 10e convex, and not concave as Einstein would like.